back, guys, to another episode of Horsepower Cartel. Unfortunately, the last video didn't do that well views-wise. I don't know why, but I just hope everyone got a chance to look at the last video, which was value for money cars and performance cars under 20 lakhs. So today we're going to do most value for money cars and performance cars under 20 lakhs part 2. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out part 1 and let me know what you guys think. And of course, like I said, I missed out on a few cars in the first episode because I'm probably going to mention them here. And if I miss out on a few cars here, I'm probably going to mention on the part 3. Yeah, so don't get upset if you don't see a car that you like or you want to see on there. Just comment below and I'll get to it. A lot of you also recommended me to do a video for value for money cars under 10 lakhs as well. I'm working on that. Don't get me wrong. Don't worry, it will be out soon. I'm just putting things together. A lot of you guys know the video that I had, the most unique cars of India part 3. I mentioned that if that video gets 1,000 likes, Ruel will shave his head off. Yeah, he did it. That video got 1,000 likes. He went ahead and did it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started with part 2. All right, so the first car I'm gonna start off with is a really special car. I actually owned one of these last year with my company, Limitless Luxuries. We had one for sale and we ended up selling it for about, I think, 18 lakhs to the current buyer. 18 or 17 lakhs. It's a very nice car. It's a V8 engine. It's rear wheel drive. It's a coupe. Some of y'all might have guessed it. I'm surprised no one noticed that I haven't mentioned it in the last video. I guess no one really knows the market value of these cars. Well, that's where I come in, guys, and bringing you the, all the inside information for you guys. So yeah, I'm surprised no one mentioned these. But anyways, what I'm talking about, let's get to it. What I'm talking about is the BMW E63 chassis 6 Series. It came in a 645 and also came in a 650i as well. Both of them naturally aspirated V8s. Both of them making well over 300 horsepower. Both of them are actually pretty reliable. Now, the 645 makes about 325 horsepower and about 450 newton meters of torque, which is pretty decent. It's enough to get itself out of the way, and get it moving. It's not gonna beat like newer modern supercars or sports cars, like we actually did a comparison against the 650 against the Stage 2 VRS. I'll put the link in the description below for that video. That was actually against the 650. Now the 650 is a 4.8 V8, makes 367 horsepower and 490 Nm of torque. And the 645 is a 4.4. So both of them have healthy big block V8s, you can say. Not big blocks, but pretty big V8s. And they sound amazing with an exhaust. Fortunately, the car that I had, you might have actually seen it in some of the vlogs. The car that I had, I think it has an Eisenman exhaust on it, and it sounded really nice. It was not too loud, not too soft. It was not raspy at all. It was nice, deep rumble. It had a lot of bass. Yeah, man, it was a nice car. So these cars you can actually find in a coupe or a convertible variant. The 645 is what you'll find in the convertible because convertibles obviously sell in a higher price than coupes. Me personally, I prefer a coupe. Convertibles are cool. So you might be able to find a 645i convertible under 20 lakhs. The 650 convertibles are going a little north of 20 lakhs. You'll definitely be able to find 650i's under 20 lakhs all day these days. Really good condition ones. And like I said, these cars are really reliable. Parts aftermarket are pretty cheap. I got brake pads put on for, I think, like the front brake pads only costed me about 15,000 rupees, which is not bad. That's with the sensors and labor and everything. Oil change, you can just put in regular synthetic oil, whatever oil you need, whatever oil BMW recommends. So the servicing on these cars aren't that expensive either. So yeah, man, these cars really good. Value for money as well, performance wise, and it still looks good. It's aged really well, timeless design, and it's a beautiful car. And of course, E-Series chassis from BMW, so it's built well. The build quality on it is nice as well. The interior, the iDrive, everything is fine. And I know the 650i comes with some paddle shifters, but the 645 unfortunately doesn't. Under 20 lakhs, if your budget's up to 20 lakhs, definitely look for a 650i. Yeah, and if you can't find one, hit me up. I'll help you find one. All right, the next car on our list is another nice performance car, but unfortunately, it's front wheel drive. But it's a fun go-kart, you can say. That is the Mini Cooper R56, the Mini Cooper S. It came with a 1.6 turbo, made about 174 horsepower and 240 Nm of torque. It's really good. It's really tuner friendly. Unlike the newer generation Mini Coopers, which have the B48 engine, they're not that reliable once you get them tuned. They're quick out of the box, stock, they're good. Once you tune them, you do like stage 2 and stuff, they tend to get a little unreliable. Obviously there's a lot of tuning companies out there that do these tunes for these cars, but some of them, cause the engine to blow up. So it all has to do with the fuel quality over here as well, and obviously our weather is not the greatest, you know. Yeah, the Mini Cooper R56, 1.6 turbocharged engine, makes about 174 horsepower, 240 Nm of torque. I'm not sure if India got the JCW variant, but if you do find one with the upgraded JCW package, boost the horsepower up to 211 horsepower and 260 Nm of torque. Fun car, looks really good. Again, timeless design, it'll never go out of style. These Mini Coopers, you know, till this date, I can never tell them apart if they're driving by, whether it's a newer one or an older one. Yeah, it's a beautiful car, mod friendly. This, you know, endless amount of aftermarket support out there for these cars. They look really cool too, and some of them actually come with a panoramic sunroof. So yeah, cool car, check it out. You can get these cars for around anywhere from 10 to 18 lakhs. Value for money. I mean, if your budget, like I said, is up to 20 lakhs, it's another car you can look into. And it's fairly reliable, you know, it's not that bad. And it won't be that hard on your pocket when it comes to servicing it as well. So definitely look into that. But yeah, moving on. All right, next car we have on our list. Let me just get this out of the way. I have a bunch of Audis on here, and if you guys know about these cars, a lot of Audis that were sedans that came with bigger V6 engines. The one that's in this is actually having a V8. There's one with the 2-liter 4-cylinder as well, which happens to be all-wheel drive. So we'll get that to it in a bit. First off, I want to start off with the A4 B8 platform, which was introduced in 2008. Now, all the way up to 2016 or 17, I want to say, the model year changed. But the ones we're talking about is the first model of the pre-facelift, because that's where these models were sold in these variants. Now, we have the B8, the A4 B8 platform, 3-liter TDI and 3.2 FSI. Now, the 3-liter TDI is Quattro, and so is the 3.2 FSI was a Quattro as well. Now, there might be some other variants that came in older models, like the B7, I think was available in a 3-liter, but I think it was only in a front-wheel drive, or it's rare to find it in a Quattro. But anyways, right now we're talking about the B8. You can find the 3-liter TDI, very powerful engine. With the tune, it's a monster. It sounds really good with an exhaust. Got about 241 horsepower and about 500 Nm of torque. So it's really torquey. You do a simple tune on there, you can boost up your torque to 600 to 650 Nm of torque, and your horsepower on the stage 2 close to 300. And these cars move out. And in the Quattro too, so you don't have to worry about torque steer from a front wheel drive or oversteer from a rear wheel drive, you know? So, you know, Audis tend to understeer, but you know, you're not gonna buy a diesel Audi, go around the track, you know what I mean? But it did come in a 3.2 V6 petrol as well. They sound amazing. This is a very similar engine to what came in the Golf R32. Very, very special sounding engine. This engine makes about 265 horsepower, which isn't bad. It makes about 330 Nm of torque. Aftermarket wise, you just get an exhaust on this, probably get some headers. The tune really won't, you know, push the horsepower to a lot because it is naturally aspirated. Yeah, you can do an intake on there, full bolt-ons. You should gain about 15 to 20 wheel horsepower. These cars are pretty reliable. I mean, if they've been taken care of from the previous owners, you should be fine. Other than that, the car's pretty reliable. Only thing you should be worrying about is the transmission. The Megatronics tend to fail in the gearbox. Other than that, it's a very nice car, and you can find these cars as cheap as 7 to 13 to 14 lakhs max. It's a great car. It's Quattro. All right, we got another Audi on the list. Now, again, this came in a diesel and a petrol variant, but the petrol variant is a different engine to what came in the A4, and it has a lot of tuning potential. I'm talking about the A6, the C6 Gen, and the C7 Gen. Now, this came with the 3-liter TDI as well, just like the A4. Same specs on the engine-wise, horsepower-wise, torque-wise, and it also had a similar gearbox as well. The C7 actually came with air suspension and LED headlights. Yeah, that's something to look out for. The C7 also, and the C6 as well, came with a 3-liter TFSI supercharged engine, which makes almost 300 horsepower from factory and about 440 Newton meters of torque. Now, this car has the same engine as the Audi S4 from the B8 platform, 3-liter supercharged. This engine was used in the S5. There were a few Q7 3-liter supercharged models sold here in India because some people expect them to come with that engine. Like I said, almost 300 horsepower, 440 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, you can go ahead and do exhaust on it. They sound really nice. It's kind of raspy, but with the right exhaust, test pipe or downpipe setup, it should be good. You can go ahead and upgrade the pulleys, get smaller pulleys for it, obviously do an APR tune on it. Yeah, but these cars move out. I got a chance to drive one when I went to Bangalore and met up with the Club Octane boys. Actually, my first Bangalore trip with the vlog. Check it out. Shout out to my boy Yajor for letting me use that car. Shout out to Amit, whose car it was, and we were actually driving it from Yajur's house to the meetup spot. And I had a blast driving it, trying to keep up with Yajur in his S6, but it was a good car. It brought back a lot of memories because I used to actually own an Audi S4 with the same engine. But yeah, these cars you could find anywhere from 8 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Now, the C7 models, the only thing you have to worry about is the air suspension. Other than that, the car is pretty good. The display tends to go bad on the MMI screen, so that's another problem that you should look forward to. But these cars, you can find them relatively cheap, anywhere between 12 to 20 lakhs, depending on the condition and the loadings it came with. Personally, I prefer the C6 3-liter TFSI because, I don't know, there's something about that shape Audi I love. I'd love to get one, get the R6 style bumpers and stuff and some nice wheels. And it didn't have the air ride on that neither. Less things tend to go wrong with it. Actually, all A6s in the C7 actually came with air suspension, but you can find some aftermarket coilovers and replace them or whatever, you know? Value for money, great performance out of these cars, and great luxury features and technology in there as well. Like the top of the line model has like a touchpad and stuff and LED headlights. So yeah, great car. Check it out. Next car we have on our list is the Audi again. It's the Audi A7. Same thing like the C7 A6. It has 3-liter TDI making about 241 horsepower, and it has the 3-liter TFSI supercharged, which is close to 300 horsepower as well. Now these cars, again, you have to worry about the air suspension. That's the only thing that could possibly go wrong, or the MMI screen. Same just like the A6, and it also has the optional LED headlights. These cars are timeless. They look so beautiful with the, you know, it's the first, I think the first time Audi came out with the Sportsback, and now everyone's doing it. I think Audi was the first one to do it. I know BMW had the X6, but that's more of like an SUV. But on a sedan variant for having a Sportsback, I think Audi was the first one to do it with the swooping design on the back, the coupe design. Mercedes has the CLS, but then again, that's like a sedan, doesn't have the hatchback. Yeah, man, the A7 is a really good looking car. Should find these about 15 to 20 lakhs. Now continuing with a bunch of Audis, still on the list. Moving on to the Q5, the first gen. It actually came with a 3-liter TDI. I used to actually work for Audi, and I used to get really excited every time I got a chance to take this car to a customer for a test drive. Now this car was available in the 2-liter petrol as well, the 2-liter turbo, but it wasn't that quick, you know, and I feel like the car was a little underpowered for its size. But the V6 3-liter turbo diesel, which came in the other cars that I mentioned, same specs, you know, 241 horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque. This car is just a rocket, you know, it's got the 4-wheel drive, but since it's an SUV, you can just throw it in the corners, and you know, like there's not much body roll neither because it's not that high off the ground. It's on the A8 D4 platform as well, so they shared a very similar platform. You had the confidence to go over bumps and stuff, and I remember this car was just an amazing car. And again, you know, like you go ahead and tune it, do some mods, get some sick body kits for it, and these cars look sick. Like my boy Neville, shout out to my boy Neville, he had one. I forgot what body kit it was, but he has some nice 20-inch niche wheels, a nice body kit on there, and the car just looks so dope. The car still drives around Mumbai. I see it once in a while. Yeah, man, it's a cool car. These cars you can find around anywhere between 9 to 20 lakhs, depending on the condition and the kilometers and the registration. So yeah, let's move on to the second last Audi on this list. It's actually will surprise you. These actually go down in value, but this car used to be well over 1 crore, brand new, higher price, comes with higher maintenance. So I wouldn't really recommend getting this car, but I thought I'll throw it in there because it comes with a big V8. It's the Audi A8 D4 platform. You can find the D3s as well, but they're well under 10 lakhs. They're not reliable. A lot of them are in crappy conditions, but you can find the D4 8, which was sold from 2011 till today. Sorry, they just recently changed the platform. So for, I guess, from 2011 to 2017 or 18, I guess. Pretty cool car. It came with a 4.2 V8 and made about 366 horsepower and about 445 Nm of torque. Yeah, it's got a nice 4.2 V8, similar to the one that came in the R8. They sound amazing. Now these Audis, you can find them spec'd out very well. Some of them come with a 4-seat configuration, some of them have a panoramic sunroof, some of them have the solar sunroof. The specifications for these cars can just go on and on the way they were spec'd, because the 4.2 actually made to order compared to 3-liter TDI, which was, you know, targeted towards the mass audience. But the 4.2 V8, you know, you find a lot of them with funky interior colors and funky exterior colors as well, and weird color combos sometimes. Found one with a white one with the red interior. It was about 18 lakhs, but it was driven higher kilometers. Yeah, you can find these cars somewhere between 14 to 20 lakhs. They're good cars. You just got to worry about, like I said, the air suspension, the electronics tend to go bad, and that 4.2 V8 is not that bad. It's pretty reliable if it's been taken care of. But these FSI motors from Audi tend to drink a lot of oil, so as long as you top it up and do your services on time, it should be good. Find a nice clean example and you should be fine and good to go. And these other Audis, they're just timeless designs, man. They're designed so well, and they have the optional LED headlights as well, which look pretty badass. It's got that that big grille in the front with the Quattro badge. Sick cars, you know, and obviously Jason Statham and Transporter used one of them as well. So yeah, man, you can check it out, get yourself one. All right, the last Audi we got on the list, Gentoo Ali Tt. Now this came with a 2-liter turbocharged engine or the 3.2 FSI naturally aspirated engine. Both of them are Quattro. All TTs that came to India in the Gen 2 were Quattro that was officially sold by Audi India. Now you can find these anywhere between 10 to 20 lakhs depending on condition and registration and kilometers. They're still holding value, but 3.2 TFSI V6 makes about 265 horsepower, 330 Nm of torque. Same like the A4, similar engine, but the TT is just a rocket. It comes with launch control as well, and it has a 7-speed DSG gearbox. 7-speed or 6-speed, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. The car that you really want to get, even though it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged, is this one, because over the 3.2, because there's a lot more tuning potential to it. You can do a KO4 upgrade. My buddy actually in my car club, my buddy Dharam has one, and it's a stage 3. I think he has a KO4 hybrid turbo on there. You know, he's done, you know, the supporting mods and everything, and he's making close to 400 wheel horsepower, which is pretty badass. And it's like a rocket, you know, that thing just goes, like I said, has launch control, has a dual clutch transmission. All you have to do really is just upgrade the clutches maybe, and you should be good to go. And I see a lot of people making close to 500 wheel horsepower, not in India, but abroad. APR or e-tuners, you know, you can go ahead and choose one of them and, you know, just do up your car the right way and get close to 400 horsepower, you know, hit up your jeweler or hit up N1 Racing for the APR treatment and you're good to go. Now these cars, like I said, you can find them somewhere between 10 to 20 lakhs depending on the condition and registration and kilometers. So yeah, amazing car, value for money, and it's under 20 lakhs. What else do you want? All right, the next car we have on the list is the Polo Gti. This car, brand new, were overly hyped and overly priced. I mean, they were almost as much as a brand new VRS. So a lot of people that were looking to buy the VRS was also considering the GTI. My buddy Sachin as well. I'm going to put the link in the description for our VRS review because he actually explains why he went ahead and got the VRS over the GTI. But let's just talk about the GTI right now because they're becoming fairly cheap now. Value for money, performance car under 20 lakhs. Now the Polo GTI, you can find them anywhere between 14 to 20 lakhs. I've seen them as cheap as 14 lakhs all the way up to 20 lakhs. It comes with a 1.8 turbocharged engine, makes about 189 horsepower, 250 Nm of torque, and it's got that DSG dual clutch gearbox. The DQ200, I know you could do an upgrade on the turbo from the stock VRS turbo, which is the IS20. I think stock it comes with the KO3, but you can upgrade to the IS20. There are a few GTIs out there that have the IS38, which, you know, the VRS gets the upgrade from the IS20. You'll have to go ahead and switch the gearbox out and get the DQ250 because the DQ200, which comes with the GTI, doesn't really hold that much power, tends to blow up. Yeah, man, the Polo GTI, cool car, good looking car. It's a 2-door. Unfortunately, if you bought it brand new, I'm sorry if you paid 30 plus lakhs because from far, it just looks like a regular Polo, you know, and from the back, it looks like a regular Polo. It's only when you see it from the side, you realize it's the 2-door and the guy driving it spent probably price of 3 Polos to own one. So yeah, unless you bought a used one, after seeing this video, like I said, anywhere between 14 to 20 lakhs, depending on the registration kilometers and condition. The aftermarket support for this car is just endless. So yeah, great car. All right, guys, last car on our list is actually a surprise. Actually, I wasn't surprised. I knew these cars were cheap. I just don't see people talking about this car. It's actually a really nice car. Maybe it's not that reliable, that's why, but it has a big V8. Some of the variants in this model comes with a supercharged V8, and some come with a nice V6 3-liter diesel as well. And that's right, I'm talking about the XFR and the XF diesel and the XFS petrol. This car comes in 3 variants. It has a 3-liter diesel, it has a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8, and it also has a V8 supercharged, which is the XFR. I know some of them came with a V6 supercharged as well. I'm not sure if they came to India. For now, I'm just gonna go with these 3 models that I could find personally online. The diesel variant, pretty decent, okay? Makes about 270 horsepower and 600 Nm of torque. I haven't seen anyone really mod these and do stage 2 on them. The numbers on here are just mind-blowing. 270 horsepower stock and 600 Nm of torque. But a stage 2, probably bump it up to 300 something and probably close to 700 Nm of torque, and that's a lot. And the best part is this car is rear-wheel drive. Jaguar does have a lot of electronics that tend to go bad. That's why this car might be a no-no for a lot of you. Like, it has a spinny gear knob thingy that tends to not open sometimes, and opening and closing automated AC vents that close when you shut the car off and open when you turn the car on. Me personally, it looks cool and all, but you know, it's just some more things to go wrong, you know, mechanically and electronically. Then moving on, we have the 5-liter V8 naturally naturally aspirated, making about 380 horsepower, 515 Nm of torque. They also have the XFR variant in this, which is borderline under 20 lakhs. I found a few as cheap as 15 to 18 lakhs. The XFR supercharged 5 liter makes about 510 horsepower, 624 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, it's a great car. Not a lot of things that can go wrong with this mechanically, engine-wise, transmission-wise. I think it has a ZF 8-speed gearbox, so you know they're not that bad. They're pretty reliable. Quick shifts as well. And I know these XFRs, V8 5 liter supercharged, make a lot of power. Doing like a stage 2 pulley upgrade and stuff. Close to 600 horsepower to the crank, and you know a lot of torque. Probably about 700 Nm of torque. 750 Nm of torque. It's a dope car, looks good, looks great. The normal XF are kind of looking old. The thing is, a lot of these cars, headlights tend to fade and they look pretty ugly. But this is my favorite Gen XF, or an XFR. I think it looks really masculine because it just looks really curvy and bulky compared to like the facelift variant. Like I said, the XFR, the cheapest one I've seen, was about 15 lakhs, and there's one recently sold for 18 lakhs. So yeah, you can find the diesel variants for around 8 lakhs and the petrol ones, and the naturally aspirated V8 ones somewhere around that as well. It's a great car, rear-wheel drive, and we'll give you the performance whenever you need it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't checked out part 1, please go check out part 1 because we didn't get that many views in it. I'm guessing everyone's busy with holy time of Ramzan as well, so I hope I'm not really interfering with the timings and people aren't getting to see the video as well. Comment below if 7 p.m. is not a good time to upload. Whatever you guys recommend, you know, I'll take an average on what times you guys are saying to upload and what time is convenient for you guys. I don't care about the views. I just want all my viewers to be, you know, knowledge and caught up to date with all my videos, because I spend a lot of time doing this. Ruel spends a lot of time editing and researching and getting the videos for you guys, so I don't want anyone missing out on it. Yeah, like I said, if I missed out on any cars, comment below. DM me. I would actually prefer it if you DM me. Let me know if I missed out on a few cars. Like I said, I am working on another episode. I'm putting it together right now. Value for money cars under 10 lakhs, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any other topics you guys want me to discuss or, you know, research and look into, please go ahead and comment below or hit me up in my DMs. I'll put the link in the description for part 1, so go check it out and go smash that subscribe button and like button if you already haven't. Yeah, man, see you guys soon, and stay tuned for another episode of Horsepower Cartel.